There we go, a little connection problem. Sorry about that. Spokane Steve here, time for Strat-O-Matic Baseball. Game 2 of a doubleheader. It's the California Angels at the Boston Red Sox. Third game of a 3-game series, second game of a doubleheader. Red Sox looking for the sweep. Angels trying to salvage one. And hang on here. Had to mute my own sound. Sorry about that. Okay, let's get some ambience up here. There we go. Let me get a drink of water. All right, we got Jack Sanford on the mound for the Angels. Jerry Stevenson for the Red Sox. Two right-handers. Let's see here. Sanford comes in with 3 appearances, 1 start. He's 0-1 with a 5.87 on the season. 7 2/3 innings. 8 hits allowed. Stevenson's made 3 starts. He's 0-2 with a high 6.17 ERA so far. 11 2/3 innings. He's given up 17 hits. And there you go. Jack's here. Franklin's here. Hello, Jack. Still frigid in Long Island. And Franklin, you walked around the neighborhood for 2 hours. Well, hang on a second. I'll tell you what I did. I made a sandwich and I went down to the Y, did 30 minutes on the treadmill, took a quick swim, and came home. Now, I have a treadmill here. It's a cheap one. But I really wanted the swim. Nothing wakes me up like a swim. I was kind of dragging after the first game, even during the first game. My apologies. But anyway, I figured if I'm going to swim anyway, I might as well use their bigger, better treadmill while I'm at it, right? Well, I'm not in training or anything like that. Don't let me fool you. I'm not trying to get in shape. I'm just trying to not get in any worse shape. The lineup for the Angels will be Paul Shaw leading off at third base, Jim Fregosi at shortstop, Bobby Knopp at second base. So far the same as Game 1 with Joe Adcock at first base in the cleanup spot. And here's where it's a slight difference. Rick Reichart moves over to center field. He'll still bat fifth. Jackie Warner is in right. Ed Kirkpatrick gets the start in left field. He'll hit seventh. Tom Satriano catches the second game of the Twin Bill. He'll hit eighth, with Sanford batting ninth. And Sanford, I'll tell you, let's look at his card here for a second. Pretty good, 13-7, 3.83 ERA in 6 starts. He also had 5 saves. And he was 37 years old. That's right. Sanford came up with the Phillies in 1956, the year I was born. He was traded to the Giants for the 59 season. He was an anchor of the Giants staff for 6.5 years before they sold him to the Angels midway through the 1965 season. So yeah, he's 37 years old here. For Boston, it will be Jim Gosker in center, Joe Foy at third base, Yaz in left batting third, George Scott at first base, Tony Conigliaro in right field hitting fifth, Rico Petrocelli the shortstop. Mike Ryan will catch the second game of the Twin Bill. He'll hit seventh with second baseman George Smith batting eighth and the pitcher Stevenson batting ninth. So we're just about ready to go. I'm still kind of froggy in the throat, and I apologize for that. Let me slide this thing over a little bit. There, that's better. I gave up the try to watch the game live on the computer as I'm playing it idea. That was too distracting for me. I need as few distractions as possible at my age. And here's Shaw to lead things off. I did input game one, so the stats are up to date. And Shaw comes in hitting .261 with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. Remember, he homered to lead off game one. Umpire says play ball. Stevenson gets the sign from Ryan. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch to Paul Shaw. It's a 4-4 to the righty. It's going to be catcher's card X. That's Ryan, a 2-E3. And here's the roll on the play. On a 3, it's a foul out to the catcher. Ryan makes the play. So 1 away. And here's Jim Fregosi. Fregosi also homered in the first game of the Twin Bill. He's now hitting .339 on the year. 1 homer, 9 RBIs. He has 3 doubles and 3 triples, though. So 7 extra base hits so far. As Stevenson comes set, here's the pitch to Fregosi. It's a 1-5, tapper down to second base. Smith has it. Over to Scott, 2 down. And that'll bring up Bobby Knopp. Knopp hitting .169, just 10 for 59, 1 homer, 2 ribbies. Stevenson into the windup now. Pitch to Knopp, a 6-5 to the righty, is a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Petroselli, a 2-E38. And here's the roll on the play. On a 15, Rico's got it, plants and throws across in time. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jerry Stevenson. 6-3-X goes to play. 1-2-3 go the Angels. We played a half. California nothing and Boston coming to bat. And before I move to the second, let me get a drink of water. Wow. Excuse me. 1 second, fellas. Wow. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Try to restore a little bit of my voice. As Sanford gets ready to work the bottom of the first. Jim Gosker will lead it off for Boston. Gosker comes in at .222, 1 homer, 4 RBIs. I've got my tea and honey here. And frankly, on the surface of things, it certainly would appear that way. Sanford, the sign from Satriano. Here's the pitch to Gosker, a 6-3 to the left-hander. It's a high fly ball to deep right field. Back goes Warner at the track at the wall and makes the catch at the wall. Holy cow, would you look at that. 6-3 to 14. Gosker has the power, but the roll is a 16. And Warner puts it away on the track. So Gosker almost got that one out of here. And here's Foy now. Foy, of course, had a big game earlier today. 2 home runs and a triple. He's now hitting .333, 9 for 27. 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. Sanford into his windup. The pitch to Foy. On a 2-9, strikes him out. So Foy down on strikes, 2 down. And here comes Yaz. Yaz comes in hitting .241, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. The windup on the pitch is a 3-10 against the righty, and he draws the walk. So a 2-out walk to Yastrzemski. Yaz, a star 15 base stealer. Sanford is 0. Satriano, however, a +2. That would make him a 17. He'll have to be held on, where he'd be a 15. And I'd try for the lead if it weren't for that roll of an 8 automatic caught. Now that's 5 out of 36 if you're doing the math. So 2 away, Yastrzemski held at first, and here's Scott. George Scott comes in at 208. 4 home runs, though, 6 RBIs. He also homered in the last game. And here's the pitch from the stretch. It's a 3-3 tapper down to short. Fregosi will take that, go the short way to Knopp, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, 1 left. We're through 1, and there's no score. So already a big difference from the opener. And Stevenson going out to warm up for the second. Just getting underway, folks. Grab something to drink, pull up a comfortable seat, and spend an hour or so with me here. It is a Wednesday afternoon in Spokane. Jesus, I had to think for a minute what day it was. The life of a retired person, huh? Oh my goodness. I mean, it's nice out now. It's not warm by any means, but it's not cold. Temperatures in the high 40s, overcast, but relatively clear and dry. Yeah, that's why I thought I would head down to the Y. Here's Joe Adcock now, batting cleanup. Adcock, 3 for 15 on the season, and most of his at-bats have come as a pinch hitter. He's got 1 home run. The wind-up in the pitch on a 5-6. That's a double to 12. And on a 4, that's going to be down into the gap for extra bases. Adcock will round and head into second base with a stand-up double. Adcock with a lot of power. Makes me wonder why he didn't get more than 231 at-bats that season. I wonder if he got hurt or something. But remember, most of the early games, Norm Seaburn has been the starting first baseman for the most part. So here's Rick Reichart now, hitting a cool 300, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs. Stevenson now from the stretch. It's a 4-6 to Reichart, and he walks him. And the Angels are in business, first and second, and nobody out here in the second inning. And here's Jackie Warner. Warner, the Angels' leading hitter so far, at 378, 6 home runs, and 11 RBIs. His 6 home runs place him among the league leaders. Now Stevenson being very deliberate. Now from the stretch, the pitch to Warner. That's a 1-9, struck him out. So a big strikeout for Stevenson. And with 1 away, Ed Kirkpatrick will be the batter. Kirkpatrick starting in left field. Batting a cool... Whoops, wrong guy. Kirkpatrick is 1 for 13 on the season. No RBIs. So Stevenson from the stretch now. The pitch to Kirkpatrick. A 1-6 grounder to first base B. That's a forced play. Scott down to Petrocelli. That's all they'll get. So Adcock into third. Reichart is forced. Kirkpatrick will be at first. He's a star stealer. Stevenson a terrible hold, a +9. Ryan is 0, but still, that would make him a 20 not held on, so they'll have to hold him on. He's still an 18. With 2 outs, they're going to let the left-handed Tom Satriano try to take a shot through that open right side. Stevenson from the stretch. Here's the pitch on a 1-3. Grounder down to third base. It's Foy. Throws him out, and that'll do it. No runs, a hit, they leave a pair. And we go to the bottom of the second, still scoreless. Satriano, by the way, came into the game with only 2 at-bats so far. He's 0 for 2. Bottom of the second. That'll be Canigliaro, Petrocelli, and Ryan. Canigliaro comes in hitting just .207, but 3 home runs, and his 11 RBIs leads the ball club. So he hasn't had too many hits, but he's had them when they count. at least so far in the early going. And Sanford now gets his sign from Satriano. Here's the windup and the pitch. It's a 4-6 to the right-hander. It's a double to 7 on a 20. Tony will settle for a long single. So a leadoff single for Canigliaro. And here's Petrocelli. Petrocelli comes in at 288, 3 homers, 8 RBIs. Sanford staring in now from the stretch. The pitch to Rico. 6-9 to the right-hander, and he walks him, ball 4. And now it's the Red Sox who are in business with first and second and nobody out. The Angels had first and second and nobody out on the top of the inning and failed to score. And here's Mike Ryan. Ryan hitting just .077. He's just 2 for 26. Does not have an RBI yet. Sanford from the stretch. That's going to be a 5-4 to the right-hander. Fly to center field X. That's Reichart, a 4E9. Reichart ranging to the gap. Here's the roll on the play on a 5. He's not going to get that. That's going to be a single, 2 stars, and a run will score. It's an RBI single, Mike Ryan, and he picks up his first RBI of the season. How about that? Petrocelli into third. And as mentioned, Mike Ryan with his first RBI of the year. And a couple of the guys in the dugout giving him a hard time about that. He's just smiling, standing there at first base. And here's George Smith now. Smith hitting .260. 1 home run, 3 RBIs. With nobody out, first of all, let's check Ryan for running. He's a catcher, so I'm not expecting much. No, he's not a star. 1 through 9 runner. Angels will pull the infield in here. And a pitch to Smith on a 2-2. It's a single, 2 stars. RBI single for George Smith. Petrocelli in the score. Ryan will move all the way over to third on that. And it's 2-0 Boston. And here is Stevenson. He's a left-handed batter. 1W. Let's check his bunting rating. He's a B. They'll keep it in. And here's the pitch on a 4-5 to the lefty. Fly ball to left field. That's going to be deep enough. Kirkpatrick moving back now, makes the catch. Ryan will tag up and score on that. And it's a sacrifice fly for the pitcher, Jerry Stevenson. And that's the first out of the inning. 3-0 Boston. And here's Gosker now. Sanford from the stretch. Smith at first, 1 away. It's a 5-8 to the lefty. Grounder to second, that's going to be 2. Knopp has it behind the bag. Flips to Fregosi. On to Adcock. Double play. And that will retire the side, but not before Boston scores 3. On 3 hits, no one left. We go to the third inning. Red Sox 3, Angels nothing. Jerry Stevenson getting loose here for the third. The pitcher, Jack Sanford, will lead it off for California. Right-handed hitter, he's a 2W. Stevenson into the windup now. The pitch is a 3-5 ground ball to shortstop. Petrocelli has it, throws him out 1 down. And that'll bring up Shaw. Paul Shaw, 0 for 1 today. Fouled out to the catcher in the first. Stevenson gets his sign now. Here's the pitch. A 3-4 against the right-hander. Grounder, comebacker. Snared by Stevenson. Over to Scott, 2 down. And with 2 outs, here's Fregosi, 0 for 1. Fregosi, a big game earlier today. Stevenson the windup now. 6-10 to the righty is a fly to center and shallow. In comes Gosker. He's there. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Stevenson. Bottom of the third we go, 3-0 Red Sox. It'll be Foy, Yastrzemski, and Scott for Boston. The Red Sox really looking to get well in this home series against the Angels. The Angels come in a little bit of a tailspin. Where is their streak? They've lost 4 straight. Sanford ready to go to work to Foy here. Here's the windup on the pitch. 5-5 is a grounder to shortstop X. That's going to be Fregosi, a 2E36. Fregosi into the hole. Here's the play. On a 20, he's got it, plants and throws. And Foy is retired. Six-three X, 1 down. And here's Yaz. Yaz walked his first time up. Sanford gets his sign. On a 3-10, he draws the walk. So Yaz walked for the second time today. Sanford is 0, but Satriano a +2. Yastrzemski will be held. And here's George Scott. And that could be Franklin. I'm not really sure. On the other hand, this would be on a Sunday. That kind of, to me, sounds like a good day for a doubleheader, if it was a scheduled doubleheader, that is. But honestly, I have no idea. 1 out, 1 on. Here's Scott, 0 for 1 today. Sanford from the stretch now. Pitch to George Scott is a 5-11 right-handed grounder to first base X. That's Adcock, a 4E5. And here's the play. On a 4, he's not going to get that. That's down the line for extra bases. That's going to be a 2-star double. Yaz will hold up at third, and the Red Sox are in business here. Second and third, and only 1 out. And now here comes Canigliaro. The Angels will pull the infield in. They don't want to get any further behind in this one. Sanford now gets his sign, the full windup. The pitch to Tony C, a 5-11, a grounder to same roll, grounder to first base X, a 4E5, and here we go again. On a 19, he's got it. And with the infield in on a ground ball C, the runner on third hold. So the infield in saves a run. That'll go 3-1, sorry, wrong guy. 3-1 X covering. That's the second out of the inning, and it's up to Petrocelli now. Sanford, the full windup. Pitch to Rico is a 5-7 grounder to second base X. That's going to be Canop. About as good as you can be with a 1E17. Here's the play on a 16. He's got it, throws him out, and Sanford gets out of the jam. Some dazzling defense from Fregosi and Canop to take Sanford off the hook here in the third. For the Red Sox, no runs a hit, they leave a pair. We've completed 3 at Fenway, and it's Boston 3, California nothing. Really getting excited about a couple of my Keeper League drafts coming up. One starting tomorrow at 7 a.m. And I had the distinction of being the worst team in the league last year, and my reward for that, of course, was the first pick in the draft. And they started the draft this afternoon a bit early. So I went ahead and made my pick between games. I picked Yuri Perez, starting pitcher, Miami. The prevailing wisdom seems to be that Ellie De La Cruz goes 1, and I can totally see that. But I saw quite a bit of both players last year, and I'm not saying De La Cruz is not talented, but there's just too much swing and miss in that swing for me. And Perez, if he can stay relatively healthy, that's the thing for any pitcher, of course. But his stuff is electric. Of course, with my luck with pitchers, he'll probably get injured. Then Saturday is the Natural League Draft, a 6-hour marathon, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific. So on Saturday, I'll have 2 drafts going concurrently. Although the IBA, you pick at the same time, each time slot each day, so that will not be as hard as it sounds. Anyway, I'm excited about Yuri Perez, so I had to share that with you. Bobby Knopp to lead off the 4th. Stevenson. The windup in the pitch is a 3-4 single to 4 on a 5. That grounder is smothered by Foy, who gets up and throws him out. So nice play, Foy. 3-4 right-handed single to 4, just missed it. And here's Adcock. Adcock doubled his first time up. Stevenson into the windup. The pitch is a 5-8 right-handed grounder to second base, X. That's going to be Smith, the 2E28. The roll on the play on a 19. Smith has it behind the bag, turns and throws him out. 4-3X, Adcock retired, 2 away, and that'll bring up Rick Reichart. I don't know why I'm lagging so much. Okay, that doesn't matter. 2 out, nobody on. Stevenson the windup now. The pitch to Rick Reichart is 6-8 to the righty. Swung on and missed strike 3. And Stevenson now has quietly retired 9 in a row. 1, 2, 3 go the Angels. Three to nothing Boston as we move to the bottom of the fourth inning. It'll be the bottom of the order for Boston, Ryan, Smith, and Stevenson. Sanford gets the sign from Satriano. Here's the windup and the pitch to Ryan. 3-7 fly ball to center. That's playable for Reichart. He's there, 1 down. And here's Smith now, 1 for 1. RBI single in the second. Sanford now with the windup. Here's the pitch to Smith. It's a 5-7 grounder to second base, X. That's going to be Knopp, a 1E17. Here's the roll on the play on a 14. Bobby's got it. Throws him out, 2 down. 4-3X. Smith retired. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Jerry Stevenson. Stevenson batting left. Pitch from Sanford on a 4-9. It's a tapper to first base. Adcock has it. He'll take it himself, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Sanford. So quite a contrast to the opening game. Sanford got into some trouble in the second, but other than that, he's looked pretty good. Stevenson's looked great. As we go to the fifth. Yeah, I know what you mean, Franklin. We don't have those anymore, do we? They use those for, they save those for makeup games now. That, and they're not giving anything away anymore, let's face it. Nobody is. Here's Warner now, struck out his first time up. Stevenson the windup. It's a 2-4 to the righty. Struck him out again. And that's twice Jackie Warner down on strikes. Here's Ed Kirkpatrick now 0 for 1. Stevenson gets the sign. Here's the windup, and here's the pitch. It's a 3-6 against the righty. Pops him up, right side. Scott under it. 2 away. And that'll bring up Tom Satriano. Satriano getting a rare start behind the plate today. Stevenson the windup. It's a 2-6. Triple to 10, and would you look at that? It's whistled over the bag down the right field line into the corner. Satriano churning. He rolls away from Canigliaro. He's coming into third with a triple. Holy crap, how about that? The catcher. Satriano, a 2-out triple. Boy, this is a dilemma now here. They've only gotten 4 innings out of Sanford. Nah, it's too early to take him out. Stevenson, the pitch for the right-handed hitting pitcher, is a 4-8, and he walks him, ball 4. Oh my goodness, Stevenson, the unpardonable sin of walking the opposing pitcher. And with 2 outs and a runner on third, no less, and that's going to give Paul Shaw a crack at it. Stevenson a 5 endurance, and suddenly he's the one in jeopardy of coming out of the game here. They're both S5s. And we have action in the Boston pen. And let's see what we have down there. I'm going to take a minute, look at my computer game. It can't be Lonborg, that's for sure. They're going to get Bucky Brandon loose. Okay, first and third, 2 down. Here's Shaw now, 0 for 2 so far. Stevenson from the stretch. Pitch to Shaw is a 6-8, swung on and missed, strike 3, and that will end the inning. No runs, a hit, 2 left on. Stevenson fanned 2 that inning. Here's Sanford now. We'll see if my faith in letting him bat is rewarded or not, as Boston will send the top of the lineup to bat in the 5th. Jim Gosker to lead it off. Gosker's 0 for 2 so far. Sanford gets the sign from Satriano. Here's the pitch. It's a 2-8 grounder to shortstop. That's going to be Fregosi. He's got it. Throws him out, 1 down. And here's Joe Foy now. Foy's 0 for 2. Sanford the windup. Pitch to Foy, a 4-7. Single to 11 on a 5. That's in there for a base hit. Just past the diving Shaw and into left field for a single. So Foy with a 1-out single. And here comes Yaz. Yaz has walked both times today. Sanford from the stretch. Pitch to Yaz on a 1-8 single, 2 stars. Foy will churn into third, and there's runners at the corners. Yastrzemski will have to be held on once again. And here's Scott. Action now in the Angel pen. And let's see. Yeah, they used him. I'm going to have to change some of the pitching plan for the Angels because some of these guys had to pitch in game 1. So they're going to get Manny Rojas is throwing down there. Lefty Fred Newman joining him. First and third, 1 away from the stretch now. The pitch to George Scott, a 2-3, a grounder to third. That's going to be 2. Shaw down to Knopp, nice turn, double play. So a sweet turn by Bobby Knopp ends the inning. The Red Sox threatened, but come away with nothing on 2 hits. And Rick's here. Welcome, Rick. In the 60s, I loved the Twilight doubleheaders. My money-conscious father liked them also. Didn't we all have money-conscious fathers, though? I mean, I'm assuming, of course, we're all more or less in the same age group. We had Depression-era parents, and it showed. I got a funny story about that. My dad would only buy store brand cola, which I did not like. I was a Coca-Cola drinker all the way. And I went around the neighborhood. I'd go around and hunt for pop bottles, check the telephone, the pay phones for dimes that people had left behind, go down to the laundromat, check all the machines for coins. Eventually, I had saved up enough to go down and buy a 6-pack of Coca-Cola. I forget what happened, what ensued there. I don't know if my dad thought I bought it, thought he bought it and said we can't afford that or something like that. And I said, I bought that with my own money. Or something to that effect. To the 6th we go. Here's Fregosi to lead things off. He's 0 for 2 so far. The pitch from Stevenson is a 5-4 fly into center field X. That's Gosker. A solid 3-3. Here's the roll on the play on a 15. Gosker tracks that one down nicely for the first out of the inning. So some fine defense in this game. A complete contrast to the afternoon game. And here's Bobby Knopp now. Stevenson, the windup. The pitch to Knopp, a 3-8. Struck him out. And with 2 away, it will be Adcock. Joe Adcock, 1 for 2. Doubled in the second. One of only 2 Angel hits against Stevenson so far. Both for extra bases. Here's the windup and the pitch to Adcock. It's a 6-9. Swung on and missed strike 3. And what about this Stevenson? That's 1, 2, 3. That's his 6th strikeout of the game. He's held the Angels scoreless through 6. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-0 Red Sox. Sanford will face Canigliaro and Petrocelli and Ryan. Do you, Rick? Yeah, me too. I remember they were 3 cents and 10 cents for the big one. I think it was a quart, wasn't it? Almost never found the big ones. Or maybe it was a nickel for the big one. No, it was more than that. It was more than twice what the small one was. I'm sure it was 3 cents for the small one. I'm not positive about the 10 cents for the quart. That's right, the quart. Not the 2 liter, mind you, the quart. Here's Canigliaro. Sanford into the lineup. It's a 3-7. It's a double to 5 on a 16. He'll settle for a long single. And Tony C is 2 for 3 today with a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 6th. And here's Ryan now. No, excuse me. Here's Petrocelli now. Ryan on deck. One more hitter walk will fatigue Sanford. Rojas and Newman both ready. Sanford from the stretch. Pitch to Rico. That's a 4-9 right-handed ground to third. That's going to be a force play. Shaw down to Knopp. That's all they'll get. So Canigliaro forced, Rico at first, and here's Mike Ryan. Sanford getting his sign now. From the stretch, here's the pitch. 2-7 pops him up left side. Fregosi calling. 2 down. And here's George Smith, 1 for 2. Sanford from the stretch now. Here's the pitch. That's a 6-3 to the righty. High fly ball to deep left field. Back goes Kirkpatrick. It's gone. 2-run blast. George Smith. Let's take another look. 6-3 righty. Homer to 13. The roll is a 3. Smith has the power. That was the only question really in my mind. Would Smith have the power? And for George Smith, his second home run of the season. It's 5-0. And the fans are giving him a big cheer. High fives all around. Petrocelli comes in to score. 3 RBI day for George Smith, and that will fatigue Sanford. His day is over. Sanford ends up going 5 2/3. 8 hits. 5 runs all earned. He walked 2. Struck out only 1. And Fred Newman will come on. Newman. Hello, Newman. Newman's been in 2 games, 1 start. He's 0-1 with a 13.5 ERA, 4 2/3 innings work only. The bullpen thin down there. Rojas, you'd save him for another situation. Lee's the closer. Burdette and Brunette both worked last game. We could use Sukla again. He only worked 2/3 of an inning, and he did pitch in this game in real life, or we could go to Rubio. But there aren't a lot of options there, so it's Newman is tagged with the job here. And the batter will be Stevenson, and he's going to hit now with a 5-run lead. Left-handed batter. Pitch from Newman, a 5-6, and he walks him. So Newman comes into the game and promptly walks the opposing pitcher. And here's Gosker now, 2 down, runner on first. Gosker 0 for 3. From the stretch, that's a 1-6. Fly ball to right field. That's going to be playable for Warner, and that will do it. And that, of course, is my rule there. The dice land flat, it counts. They don't have to be in the tray. The Red Sox tack on 2 more on the 2-run blast by George Smith. What a game he's having. We've completed 6, and it's Red Sox 5, Angels nothing. And Jerry Stevenson, wow, what a story, huh? Another unsung pitcher, really. I mean, in real life, he had a 5.83 ERA, for God's sakes. He's held the Angels to 2 hits through 6 innings. And they're going to send up Reichart, Warner, and Kirkpatrick in the 7th. Stevenson gets the sign now. Here's the pitch to Reichart. A 5-10 to the right. He gets a tapper down to short. Petrocelli has it. Throws him out, 1 down. Here's Jackie Warner now. Warner struck out twice so far today. Stevenson with the windup. Pitch to Jackie, a 3-3 is a high fly ball to deep left field. Yaz just watches that one sail over the monster. And Jackie Warner has just hit his 7th home run of the season, which puts him in sole possession of the American League home run lead. How about that? How unfortunate that he'll be injured before too much longer. He had 123 at-bats. He crashed into a right field wall, which derailed his entire career, unfortunately. So it's 5-1 now, and here's Kirkpatrick. Boy, Warner gave that one a ride. Stevenson gets the sign. Pitch to Kirkpatrick. It's a 6-11. Grounder to the pitcher X. Stevenson a 3-22. Here's the roll on the play. It's a 19. He makes the play for the out. That'll go 1-3X. Kirkpatrick retired, and Satriano will come to bat. 2 down, nobody on. Stevenson into the windup now. It's a 5-4 to the lefty. Fly to center field X. That's Gosker, a 3-3. Gosker drifting towards the gap. On a 17, catches up with it, and makes a fine catch to retire the side. So 1 hit, 1 run, a home run by Jackie Warner. And it's a 5-1 ball game as we go to the bottom of the 7th, as we stretch for the 7th. Fred Newman will come back out there. Catching up on some of the chat here as we break for the 7th. Yeah, Rick's comments. Baseball cards and Cokes, absolutely. And then as soon as I turned 10, I got a paper route, and the money was flowing in then. You know what I mean? There was no more Shasta Cola for me, or Alpha Beta Cola, or whatever the hell it was we were drinking. It was Coca-Cola, baseball cards, candy. Boy, if I'd have been close enough to a park to skip school, I'm quite sure I'd have done that too. Didn't take much to get me to try to skip school. Bottom of the 7th, here's Foy. Foy 1 for 3. He had a great first game. 2 home runs and a triple. Newman into the windup. It's It's a 5-7 to the righty. There's another hit for Foy. It's a base hit. This is Joe Foy's day for sure. It's a leadoff single, and here comes Yaz. Yaz singled walked twice. Newman from the stretch now. It's a 3-2 to Yaz. Lines into a double play. Oh my goodness. Lines to second. Throws back to first quickly. They've got Foy off the bag. And that will erase the runner. So an exciting play. Nice play by Knopp. And here's Scott now. 2 outs, nobody on. Pitch to Scott is a 1-7. Tapper to short for Gosse. Over to Adcock, and that will do it. We go to the 8th. Boston 5, California 1. Just looking at the Boston defense, as I do late with a lead. They look pretty good out there to me. And as we move to the 8th, the Angels will send up a pinch hitter for Newman to lead things off. Newman, 1 1/3. One hit, no runs, walked 1, no strikeouts. They'll bring in Rojas. They don't have much other choice. Mini Rojas warming up, and we'll have a pinch hitter for Newman. And against Stevenson, that's going to be Norm Seaburn. He played in this game in real life. He also pitch hit in the opener. Seaburn, who's done most of the starting at first base up until recently. Left-handed batter. Seaburn comes in 0-86, 3 for 35. 1 run batted in. Hell, it's no wonder they're playing Adcock now. So Stevenson ready to work. Here's the pitch to Seaburn. It's a 5-5 to the lefty. Swung on and missed, strike 3, and Seaburn's struggles continue as he's down on strikes. Top of the order now, Paul Shaw, 0 for 3 today. Stevenson lined up and the pitch. 6-7 to the right-hander, single to center field for Shaw. 1 out single. Shaw aboard. And here's Fregosi. Stevenson getting a little extra rope now with the 4-run cushion. Fregosi's 0 for 3. Now from the stretch. Pitch from Stevenson on a 1-2. It's a liner to second to the max. Double play. Liner to Smith. Back to first. They've got Shaw. Another line out to the max. How about that? What a play by Smith. And that'll end the inning. No runs a hit and no one left on. We go to the bottom of the 8th, still 5-1. Here's Mini Rojas now coming on for California. Rojas, nice card, 2.88 in 84 innings in real life. 10 saves in real life. What did he do in the replay, you might ask? Well, let's take a look. Rojas, where is Rojas? He's been in 3 ball games. He's 1-1 with a 3.86 ERA over 4 2/3 innings, and he'll be brought on to face Conigliaro, Petrocelli, and Ryan. Conigliaro's 2 for 3 today. Rojas into the windup. It's a 6-3 to the righty, base hit into left field. Sharply hit single by Conigliaro, and he's 3 for 4. And here's Rico. Petrocelli 0 for 2 with a walk. Rojas getting the sign now from Satriano from the stretch. Pitch to Rico, a 2-8 grounder to third base. That'll be a forced play. Shaw down to Knopp. That's all they'll get. So Tony C is forced and Rico P is aboard. And here's Mike Ryan. 1 for 3 today. Ryan got his first RBI of the season back in the second. Rojas from the stretch. Pitch to Ryan. A 5-7. Double to 8 on a 10. He'll settle for a long single, 2 stars. Petrocelli chugs into third. Getting ahead of myself there. Petrocelli chugs into third, runners at the corners and 1 down, and here's George Smith. Smith has done most of the damage today. 2 for 3, 3 RBIs, big home run in the 6th. Rojas from the stretch now, infield at double play depth. It's a 4-3 to the righty. Fly to right field X. That's Warner, a 4-E5. As he drifts towards the line, here's the roll on the play. On an 18, he can't get it. It's a single, 2 stars. Another run will come in to score. That'll be Petrocelli on an RBI single by Smith. And Smith, his 3rd hit and 4th RBI of the day. Ryan goes into 3rd. And it's 6-1 Red Sox. And Stevenson's going to hit. Rojas from the stretch. 4-10 to the left-hander. Grounder to short X. That could be 2 for Gosi, a 2E36. Here's the roll on the play now. It's an 8. That's the E rating. The roll is an 8 on an E36, and Fregosi can't get it. That's an error on Fregosi, and another run will score. E6. Oh my goodness, when it rains, it pours. Ryan crosses the plate. First error of the ball game, and it's 7-1. And here's Gosker now. First and second, 1 down. Double play depth is the infield. Rojas from the stretch. 2-9, struck him out. Gosker down on strikes, 2 down. And Joe Foy will get another at bat. He's 2 for 4 in this game. And it feels like he's done nothing compared to his performance in game 1. He's swinging a hot bat right now as Rojas comes to the plate. That's a 4-8. Grounder down to first. Adcock will take it himself. And that will do it. But 2 more for Boston. And they opened it up 7-1 as we go to the 9th. And with that big of a lead, I'm not even going to bother bringing Casco in for defense for Foy. Stevenson going for the complete game now. Fantastic performance from, again, an S5 starter. He's only allowed 4 hits, and it will be Knopp, Adcock, and Reichart for the Angels here in the 9th inning. Stevenson gets the sign from Ryan now. Here's the windup. Pitch to Bobby Knopp on a 2-4. Struck him out. Holy cow, what's got into this Stevenson? And here comes Adcock, 1 for 3. Stevenson gets his sign. The windup. Pitch to Adcock is a 112. He walks in, ball 4. A 1-out walk to Adcock. And here's Rick Reichart now, 0 for 2 with a walk. Jackie Warner on deck. He has a homer today. Stevenson from the stretch. On a 1-5, it's a homer on a 1, but on 11, that fly ball is going to be caught by Yastrzemski, and the Angels are down to their last out. And it will be Jackie Warner. Now the American League home run leader with 7. That ties in with Mays, who leads the NL with 7. Yeah, Jackie Warner. How about that? 2 out, 1 on. Stevenson trying to end it from the stretch. The pitch to Jackie Warner, a 4-5, swung on and missed strike 3, and that's the ball game. 3 Ks as Warner gets the hat trick today, and in between that he homered. And that's your ball game. And the Red Sox complete the sweep of the Angels, not just the sweep of the doubleheader, mind you, but 3-game series sweep. They improved to 7-8, while the Angels, who've now lost 5 straight, dropped to 4-11. Stevenson, 9 innings, 4 hits. The only run he gave up was the homer to Warner. He walked 3. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 strikeouts. What a game by Stevenson. With that win, he improves his record to 1-2. Sanford with the loss drops to 0-2. Rojas in his 1 inning gave up 3 hits, 2 runs. No walks and a K. Yeah, I'm trying to work you guys see I've changed the pitching line here to the more traditional look. The only problem is when I try to make copies of this, I can't get the strikeout column in there. It's too far out of the frame. But I'll fiddle around with it and see what I can come up with. I could make it smaller. I really don't want to make it any smaller. These boxes are small enough for my poor eyes as it is. Keith, thank you very much. I certainly appreciate that. Thanks to all of you guys for being here with me. It means a lot to me. Let's give you the totals here real quick. Red Sox, 7 runs. 12 hits, no errors. Angels only 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error. Stevenson, I'm going to call it the Chief Spokane Gary co-players of the game are Jerry Stevenson and George Smith. Smith for his 3 hits, 4 RBIs. Stevenson a complete game victory. And that's it here from Fenway as the Red Sox beat the Angels 7-1. Now, I don't know what time tomorrow. I'll probably have a later game tomorrow because of the draft. We're going to get through 3 rounds tomorrow and then 6 rounds Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm sure I'll have an afternoon game, though, with only 3 rounds tomorrow. It'll probably be later than 1, though. Probably more around like this time. 3 to 4 p.m. Pacific. In any case, that's going to be the Phillies at the Cubs. Larry Jackson will face his former team, who he was traded from just this season. And Bill Fall will come out of the bullpen and make the start for Chicago. So please join me for that one. In the meantime, Spokane Steve saying thank you once again, and wishing you all a very pleasant evening. Take care, guys.